Hey guys, welcome back to the Best Couple Podcast. Okay, today guys, we're going to be speaking about marriage. We've been married for 25 years, so we're going to be talking about what we thought marriage would be like, what it is, what it's been like, the ups and downs. So yeah, 25 years. We have 4 children as well, if you're new here. And just sharing our experience, really, what we've been through and what we've learned and how we've grown together.
Because basically, obviously, everyone has some sort of idea what they think marriage would be like. Maybe it's, they see their parents, see other people, see movies and stuff like that. Or not also like, what they wish marriage would be like, what their partner would be like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then after they get married, I mean, the whole wedding, this day, certainly in the Indian community, well, any community, basically any background, weddings are a big thing. Big money-making thing. Millions of people come in and they want to do everything, outdo each other.
Did you want a big marriage?
Wedding.
Big wedding.
I think back then, our time, there wasn't really big weddings. I mean, there was families from both sides, but they weren't massive. And I wasn't fussed.
Did you think about your wedding?
No, not really. I don't think at that time I would honestly say I didn't even want to get married. I did not want to get married at all. And out of all my friends and family, everyone probably assumed that I would be the last to get married. I don't know. For me, commitment wasn't the thing. I mean, I never thought about it. I was just basically, I was just like thinking about what I wanted to do in life more than anything. So when you popped up, it's just like everything just changed. So I didn't have that idea. I didn't have that. And plus, I don't think I knew any couple or married couple that were great role models in their relationship. But anyway, before we get on, sorry, I'm just going to cut back going, that's what it's going to be about. It's all about marriage. It's not just about our marriage. It's about marriage in general. We're going to share the things that we've learned, things that we've grown from, and things that we're trying to do differently and want to make better.
Yeah, I thought you were going to ask. We are going to be talking about that. But I was like,
I just thought at least
as well. I was going to ask me as well. Did I think about marriage?
I will ask you, but I already know your answer.
Not everyone else does.
So that.
Let me hear from your half. Like, what do you mean? You know my answer.
You want to get married? You wanted a big wedding? You wanted a family there and everyone there, and you wanted your dad to do the video and filming and everything else and whatever. You had that whole, Dil Wale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, or one of those kind of Hum Saath Saath Hain kind of like, movie where everyone just dancing, everyone getting on with stuff, everyone wearing different clothes. It's a whole like carnival going on. That's what you imagine.
I so did. That's exactly. But I didn't want my dad to be the one who's making the film.
Oh, but you know what I mean.
Because he did that for a living. I just did not want him to be.
But you know what I mean. You used to watch him create films for other people's weddings, and you basically went, "Oh my God, what would mine be like, and what songs would be on mine."
Yeah, I used to get really emotional watching all these wedding films on the weekend whilst he's editing them, and I'm like always used to think of mine. So yeah, I did think about marriage quite often, how it be, and but hey, that didn't happen.
So I don't know if it's a girl thing or
I think it is a girl thing. I think it is because most guys they just want to turn up, don't they?
I didn't want to turn up. You know what I mean? I didn't care about weddings. It was like basically never even thought about
then
it.
Why didn't you just say? Why didn't you just say?
Because you don't get to say. And I'm not putting my parents or family or society or community or whatever, down. Basically, when you come from a place where, you just look to your family and you're saying, okay, I want to get married. And they go, okay, we know what's best. Yeah. And you go, yeah, okay. Yeah. And, and because everyone else is doing, I mean, they just take away from what everyone else is doing as well, which is fair enough. It's not like that. I mean,
at that point, you don't know anything.
No, I didn't know, and I don't know about cultures, traditions, and all this stuff. And at the same time, I do think, I mean, certainly in my situation, you do think, okay, I want my family to be happy.
Yeah.
You're not getting married for yourself, as in you are getting married for yourself, but the wedding, I see the wedding at that time was the wedding is for everyone.
Happiness for everyone.
Yeah, so I could see everyone's joy on their faces and they're all saying what should be done and how. It's like a whole gathering. Yeah. It's their thing. For me, it's just like you said, it's about turning up. You lot just tell me what to do.
And
It's like being an actor on a film shoot. You got the director, which is dad and mom kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, you got the producers, which is Daddy, Bibi. You know what I mean? She's just investing kind of thing. You know, I don't care. You lot film it in the way you lot want to. I'm just turning up. You know, as long as I get the profit at the end kind of thing. You know, which is my grandson or my granddaughter getting married or something.
Yeah.
And then you get all the other people who are the extras. You got the cameramen, you got the, you know, like the photographers, you got, I mean everyone's got a cast and crew and, you know, like them, but you are the main star and the other person's come in and you just got to perform for every single person.
Yeah.
And so make sure everyone's happy.
I think when I look at it now, I think you were very much of a pleaser as well. Like,
Yeah.
you're not the person you are today, and neither were you going to be, and that's the same with me as well. Like,
I wanted my family to be very happy. I wanted them to be proud of me. I wanted them to be like, you know, he's, for a guy who didn't want to get married, he's actually not only getting married, he's looking forward to getting married to somebody that he wants to get married to. And I was so grateful that they were very supportive.
Yeah.
They were behind me.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have mattered if everyone else didn't turn up, that they were there.
Do you know, I wish we did it would have been just us and that's it. Like, because you look at it now and there's so many people. I don't know anyone on there. Most of the people I don't know.
No.
So
I mean, I would have just had immediate family, or not just immediate family, people who I really was close to. You know what I mean? The really close ones. So, you know, like some aunts and uncles, some cousins, some friends, the ones that I was really, really like, you know, I see them weekly or I felt comfortable. Not everyone that you haven't spoken to in ages, but all of a sudden you're just calling them because they're going to feel bad. And, you know, but yet you've never had a relationship with them. But parents are going, well, we're calling these ones, we can't leave them out. And this, and I would have gone, no, you can't.
Do you know what I love about now? The fact that our kids can do that, you know, choose what they want. They don't have to please us, you know what I mean? Whatever they want to do.
I don't think they need to please us.
They're nothing like us at all. They want to run away and get married. Okay, you know, to an island, so be it. Do you know what I mean? It's whatever makes them happy. And it's a bit of a shame because that's what it was back then. You just do what you got to do, haven't you?
Yeah, because again, you're none the wiser, and you do look at your elders and say, look, and again, you want them to be happy. Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? You know, you want them to feel proud of you. Like you said, you want to please them. Yeah, you want them to be supportive. I mean, at the end of the day, if you had your family who were very much behind you and supportive, regardless of anything, it would have taken so much pressure off. And you just feel like that, like you're going, they've got me. They've got my back. Even if sometimes, you know, you can have your little fallouts and you don't see eye to eye, whatever it might be. But they're behind me. And that's what I think relationships are all about. It doesn't matter if it's society or community or marriage or, you know, parents, kids and all that. It's about whenever you making a choice or a decision in life, it's no one knows it's the right thing or the wrong thing. I mean, they can find you the perfect, who they think is the perfect partner for you because the family that they come from is amazing. This person very much educated, there's, you know, and they can have all that, but there's no guarantee that that marriage or that relationship's going to last. So it's just going like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm putting quite faith and belief in it, just like we do with God. I'm putting belief into this. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but all I know is that I want to take this path. And then having people who turn around and say, we're behind you. We don't know either. This could be the most amazing thing. This might not be, but guess what? We're behind you, and that is all you need.
That's it, exactly.
And then you just take it. Take it from there. And so that's it.
Today's topic is because a lot of people always get in touch with us about our relationship. They're always asking for advice, help, guidance. And it's like, I was just thinking about it the other day, and then all of a sudden something popped up. I was like, what about us? It hasn't been easy. We've learned so much. And something popped up and I was like, oh, let me show Steve this and let's talk about it. So it was about, I'm going to just
read it out. Okay, go.
So it was about patterns in couples and the people that made it, and I was going through and I knew exactly how I felt, and I was like, oh yeah, kind of tick.
We made it 25 years, that's about it. We've still got to see where he's going.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So it's about patterns and couples who made it in life.
Okay.
The first one is they put their relationship first and had clear boundaries with families. They didn't vent to them about issues or make decisions based on what their families wanted. They did what was best for their partnership together. And I was thinking, we weren't like that at the beginning at all.
Definitely not. No.
That's something that's taken us such a long time. It was quite hard. It was really, really hard, and on both sides. I know we've spoken about things before, but just it could be the simplest things. And I know I felt like you really were wanting to please, and you'd be there straight away, whatever it was, And what hurt me was like at times you weren't heard and things like that.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and I did think about my side as well, like how you used to get really annoyed with certain things.
Because I was still in a position where I just felt like you said, to please, but also regardless of how you're thinking and feeling, you just got to do what's right by, what everyone else, how you've been brought up kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like those people just turn up because they've been invited, or, even though they don't want to be there, and you just think that's the right thing to do, or you have to invite people to certain things, even though you don't want them there. Like I said about my wedding, I wish I could have done things differently, people I was getting on with, and then, but you do. You just basically, but not only that, you never brought up or taught to, and that's a different subject, and we already spoke about it on another podcast about boundaries.
Yeah.
And I know it keeps on, loads of people also writing understanding boundaries still. Some people understand them, but people don't even recognize that word in a sense.
Yeah.
Loads of people wrote out and they went, what do you mean by boundaries? And then we had to sort of explain sort of behind, because it's like going, having your own space and own,
Because you don't feel like you have that right, do you?
No.
Especially if you're living with family.
Because again, you feel like you're offending people.
Yeah.
If you don't listen and you don't do that, part of you has grown up with trusting, people around you. It's not just always your parents, just trusting other people that they know better than me, because I don't, I'm still learning.
It's that, and then it would also be feeling bad and guilty as well. Like when
regret.
So when you do finally put them up, you feel really bad, don't you?
Because again, you don't want to offend people. So when they say do this or do that, or this is the right way, that's the wrong way, because even though you might have some idea in your head, you just go in, that's my mom, that's my dad, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's my uncle, aunt, and you just don't want to make them feel bad. And you go in, if I don't do that, then they're going to be, and then not only that, next time I see them again in whatever venue, I'm going to have this conversation, and I don't need to get involved. And it ends up being a conversation. People start being funny with you.
Yeah.
And it's not just one. Everyone does. And you want to fit in.
What I meant by feeling bad is that because it carries on, it's not you're not listened to, it carries on. And then it comes to a point where you have to walk away from it. And then you still have that guilt and feeling bad.
Because there's no understanding from both ways. It's no communication of going, look, hey.
So it's not what I was trying to say, it's not an easy thing, because you have, it comes to a point where you're like, okay, there's no respect there. There's no,
But you don't think of it like that. You're thinking, when you're younger and you're in your 20s or whatever, or slightly even up to your 30s, you look at respect is only one way kind of thing. That basically me doing whatever my elders and other people are, community, it doesn't mean just parents, but what they think and feel and say, I don't want to offend them, even if it's their kids who invite you to something, you're going, I better go there before them or something like that. I mean, some you get on with, but it is that thing of, I respect them. And for me to respect them, I don't want to do something that's going to offend them.
Yeah.
But respect is mutual.
Yeah.
We don't look at it, because we ain't raised that we all equal.
Yeah.
We always raise that these people know better and are better or are older, and you've got to behave in a certain way.
Yeah.
They can let you down, or they don't have to. They can say what they want, but you cannot. They can justify what they're doing or not doing, or if they can't make it, and it's okay. But if you don't, and it wasn't about that, but boundaries isn't something that we taught from a young age. And then as soon as marriage comes, if you start creating boundaries straight away, again, it is basically someone's come and changed this person.
Yeah.
But if you already understood boundaries, I mean, you rather have it right from the get-go, right from day one. This is how we're going to live and this is how we're going to be. Because if you again both of you together are going around pleasing everyone and doing whatever you think is going to make other people happy, not yourselves, even if you're uncomfortable and you're not. Then again, later on, if you decide that enough's enough,
it affects.
Then people again turn around and go, "What the heck happened
and
here?"
And it's not even that; it's with your partnership as well. It affects you both because you're like, "Well, you did it before, and why not do now?
So
you've changed.
you've changed. So who you've been talking to? What's been going on? And what's wrong now?
So that was hard for us, I think. To work through and get.
And I think living with people, like living with your family, parents, whoever it might be, I think that does it as well. Because sometimes you're living under, the roof of your parents. You again feel like with respect, and I'm living on their roof, I should be doing these things.
Yeah.
The boundaries don't become between you, between you and them. It ends up being that we're all one kind of thing. So everything they're saying, I better do, because again, I can't have boundaries from them. But like I said in the other podcast, we can have boundaries from each other. And it doesn't mean you don't love them or you don't respect them or you don't care. I think that's where the misunderstanding comes.
Yeah.
If I have a boundary and I say something that, look, I don't want to do this. This is the reason why. I hope you can understand. And the other person goes, okay, I would rather you do this, but I see where you're coming from. That's fine. It's your choice. Yeah. It's not, that's mutual respect. That's love. That's care. That's understanding.
Yeah. And sometimes there's more to it as well. Because I think about us when we did things that we didn't want to do. We'd pay for the next day. Like the recovery from it as well. Like we didn't realise that.
Oh, like, you get drained.
Yeah, it's like having alcohol or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're mentally, you're fighting yourself.
Yeah,
you're fighting against what your own sort of internal values and beliefs are, or the way that you're thinking.
It took us a long time to understand that.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot with you when you would do things and you're really, the next day you just don't want to do anything.
No, I was drained out. And it wasn't because of alcohol. It's just like, and sometimes you go to these places and you're thinking, you know what, I do want alcohol, so I don't have to, because I'm performing.
Yeah.
So if I have the alcohol, then I'm not, I can perform easily of going, hey,
I wonder whether there's a lot
of
people who relate to that, because as a wife and to see that side of you, it took me ages to understand, you didn't know what it was.
And not only that, it happens in the relationship. It's like going, there's like me saying to you, you have to go because they're going to be offended. And what excuse am I going to make? Instead of being able to say, oh, she could make it. Yeah. I don't need to get into the details. But it was like, no, they're going to know that you're at home. They know you're not working. They know this, that, and the other. You've got to come. Otherwise, you went to so-and-so's, but you didn't go to that person's. And they're going to say, well, obviously, they got a problem with me. Mm-hmm. So you're already playing all these scenarios and stories of what everyone's going to do. It's like you feeling like Doctor Strange in Avengers Endgame. Like, you got the like millions of things of where this is going to go, and only one thing is going to get you through it, and it's not for your own benefit. So and you did the same with me.
With you, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to go. You know what? This person's going to say, that person, and you're going, oh my God, I don't even like this person.
So
and then you dress up and you're going, here we come to go on top of that.
Yeah. So for the people who ask us all these questions, we've been there. We've been like that, like with each other, and it's taken us a long time. And I think you've got to know yourself, and you've got to understand you as well. Like, especially with the patterns that we've had. That's one that we've definitely worked on.
Definitely. And again, it wasn't easy because again, you're feeling like even though you truly see yourself authentically of who you are, again, it feels difficult because you've been pleasing people for such a long time, and you then feel like, I don't want to upset them. I don't want to hurt them. I'm not a bad person. Yeah. And I don't think they're going to understand. And I am going to be excluded. I am not going to be liked. And, and we all are people who want to be part of something. We want to be liked. We want to be loved. Yeah. And then when you're doing that kind of thing, and you're going, I don't want to hurt these people. But at the end of the day, when I'm doing all these things, I'm hurting me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want my kids to do the same. So you're ready.
But the last part as well, they did what was best for their partnership together. I think boundaries also like family, extended family, but also family, your own family, your children, boundaries between them as well. Me and you, the pair of us, we didn't have that at all.
No.
We'd just jump to anything the kids wanted, do whatever, say.
Still do.
We do.
Not as much. I think that's just more to do with them like moving and doing their own thing. We've realised that as well. And now I think between both of us, we seem to understand each other so much more as well, because there was that chaos of
doing something or pleasing even the kids and stuff.
Because again, you had regret. Like, even when you want to do things together, you end up going, oh my God, those poor kids, they're at home, what they're thinking, they're feeling left out, and our job is to keep them happy.
Yeah.
And I think many parents can probably relate to that kind of thing. Once you have kids, your role from being husband and wife, depending on how quick you had them, becomes of father and mother. And you feel that you put everything on becoming so good at that you don't want to disappoint them, because you look at where your life's been, that you don't look at your relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's where most relationships, marriages break because of that. Not that they aren't good people, not that they don't love their kids and they haven't got love in them. They could be two really good people living together, raise their kids so perfectly well, but they don't have a relationship with each other.
Like the conversation we had while we were going for a walk the other day. I was saying that it's like with us two, it has been the same thing. We were constantly, running around the kids, not thinking about us. And since they've kind of, I'm not saying we did have a relationship. We did try. We always wanted to work on it.
I think we battled in the sense of we wanted more of a relationship. I wanted more of a relationship with you. You wanted more relationship with me, but we didn't know how to communicate it. And we didn't understand. I understood it from my point of what I wanted and why I wanted it. But I didn't understand what you wanted and why you wanted it. And I think that comes into the whole love language thing. And then you was the same thing. I want him. I don't understand why he isn't doing this and being like this, the kind of guy I would want him to be.
And I understand so much more now, like with having, like I said, the kids, they've gone and doing their own thing, that we have so much more time to ourselves. There's not a lot more chaos, and we have more time to think and actually talk, and not how it used to be before, because you're around everything else that's going on, talking over each other. There's so much going on. It is just about us two. But one thing we did know is that we did fight for each other often. Like, we wanted each other's attention. But
even the fighting for each other, but in the way that we were fighting for each other was in a negative way. And I don't know if other people can understand that. It's like, I want you, I need you, or no, I want you, I need you. I want more time with you, quality time with you. I want to be around you, and I want to make you, a happier woman, like, a happy wife, whatever it might be. But it's just that going, with everything else that's going, I don't know how to. Because again, your upbringing when you was younger, did you ever look? Okay, let me just ask you this. I know we're going quickly off. When you was growing up, uncles, aunts, parents, whatever, did you ever see them walking down the street holding hand in hand, or giving each other hugs, or just a peck on the cheek? Your relationships around you.
No.
The adults who were married, did you ever see that?
Not at all.
You never saw that. I never saw that. And I had so many uncles and aunts, and my parents were there. And the thing is, what was it that made people think and believe that you can't express affection towards each other when you're in a marriage? You know what I mean? Who's gonna judge you and turn around and go, that's disgusting? That's your partner. And the thing is, even to the point where it's like, when you're growing up, that's what you see. You're seeing that you can't hold hands, you can't give. And it wasn't, oh God, in front of other people. I don't think I saw my parents give each other a hug in front of us as kids in our home. And not only that, or when we went to the, park or theme park, that they're walking there holding each other's hands or arm around each other whilst their kids are just running around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is what you pick up from the people around you. Even the sense of like the relationship between husband and wife, or man and woman, how it is. Come on, up until this day, I guarantee all the men in your house used to sit in one room when they all got together, and all the women were in the other room. Yeah. The men ate first. And not only that, because they'll turn around and say, well, they're all going to drink alcohol, right? And they all, women don't need to be there. Men are doing their own thing. But these all men are uncles, aunts, brothers, and all that. They ain't going to be rude and disrespectful. Yeah. They've got no reason to be.
But when I was younger, I used to see those kind of things.
It's safety.
I already
it's supposed to feel safe.
Yeah. When I was younger and I used to see those kind of things, I already used to think straight away that that's not going to be the case for us.
And we weren't. Remember?
So there was things I knew wouldn't happen.
We started that early though.
Yeah.
We started going, look, guys and girls all in the same room. We all sit together, we talk together, and we be
Things that I
ourselves.
found it irritating. Why are the women always running around the men, and why, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but again, why are they separate for?
Separate,
Again,
yeah.
it's like, why can't you have
Superior.
conversations and feel
Can't sit
comfortable
in the
in
same
each
room.
other's space?
Yeah.
And if you turn around and go, wow, guys are going to drink and you don't know what they're going to say or how they're going to behave,
They don't
but
bloody
then
drink.
they're not the right kind of guys, are they? That means you already don't trust these guys. You believe that they're going to drink or say something or act not right around the people who are their friends and family. Then there's something not right there, is it?
Yeah.
Because then if you already know that this is how it is, you know that everyone, like now we used to have our friends and our family around. They could be loud. As guys, we can be, when us lads are going out, we can be laughing and joking and having a drink and taking the mick kind of thing. It's just like in the police force when you're sitting around with your other officers, you have your banter. But when you're outside, how you're going to be, who you're going to be, not your audience. I know for a fact that all those guys, cousins and it was, friends and stuff like that, when you sat around and you even drank together and all that, families all around, they were still respectable to every single woman that was in that house. Even if my mom, my gran, you, my daughters, whatever, I trusted them and they trusted me. And that's how it was. But that's what I mean. But that's where even what I'm saying is in a young age, your relationship says men are separate. Like men and women aren't equal. Men and women aren't the same. Men are like this. Men have to behave like this. Women have to behave like this. So when you haven't got that relationship to look up to what a marriage is or should be, you're just making it up as you go along. And then when you watch these films and they're hugging all that, you're going, this is just a love story.
I started hating Bollywood movies.
This is a love story.
Like,
this isn't real.
This is nonsense. It's what you dreamed about when you were younger. It's totally the opposite.
So and it's that.
Yeah.
And and you didn't see, and if you did see those parents who were hugging and doing that, and you thought, wow, what's this? What's going on here?
I don't think I ever did see anybody ever.
Yeah.
Not at all. So we didn't. So those kind of things we've really worked on.
And even now, I know so many people our age, even people younger than us, who have been married for quite some time and they can't hold each other's hand or walk together or hug each other or sit together because they just like looking at that this is not how it is. They do.
I know.
They feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They
and like we had that conversation yesterday walking. It was like, when kids do fly away from the nest and stuff, and then it's just the couple that are left.
Yeah. There's actually a survey done in America, basically the Western world, that most men, like at the moment with the generation, Gen Z, they don't believe that Gen Z will marry much. They think that they'll be in relationships and their relationships will be stronger, but they won't marry as much and they won't have as many kids as the other generations, but they have more understanding
of each other
because they understand boundaries. They understand what they each individually want and they want to do the best for each other. So even if they don't get married, they're not there trying to please people because it's like what I want.
That's brilliant.
So they're saying that as a positive, but they're looking at relationships like in that point. But what I was going to say was the other survey was majority of the people who are trying to date and find a partner are over the age of 50 at the moment. The reason being is because they're all divorcing. Majority of them are divorcing or are in marriages that they arrange and love marriages, that basically they lived all this time looking after their kids, being the best parents, great dad, great mom, good people that will always be. But what they realized when the kids have left home to go to university, they didn't have a relationship with each other. It's like living now. All of a sudden, what do we talk about? What do we do? Unless we have a conversation with our kids, or we're really busy and occupied in our job and profession, or we've got other family and friends that we can go and meet, friends that I'll go and have some drinks with my mate, this mate, that mate, whatever, and she goes and like spends time with her family and all that. You're still not working on that. You just basically, it's avoidance and you're more or less trying to just do things to pass your time. You're not going, what about us now? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that's when because if you do that, you realize that actually we ain't got nothing. I'm not saying that you have to have something common. We haven't even actually got a relationship.
It's crazy because like when we had all the kids at home, there was so much going on. You just didn't have time for each other. But that's one thing I know. We both at times would be like, hold on, we're not expressing the love. We're not being, we're not close. We'll work on it, and it was constant. So it is a difficult thing. Like, so I can understand, but like we've always fought for that.
Yeah, and the thing is, it is the empty nest syndrome, which we done a podcast ages ago. But it is that's what people are experiencing, and it is basically 50% of people they not having a relationship. So they either stay together in a loveless relationship, marriage, shall I say, just for the sake of the kids, and not only that, they've gone to the point where this day and age, everyone's dating on apps. How do I go outside in that world to find someone else? And I'm going to be judged by everyone around me. So they're just more or less going, life's gone, because they see it as that. 50, now we're 50. Who are we going to find? What the heck? We just got to do it. And that's where the purpose of, hopefully our kids will have kids. Get married quickly, get married. So we got someone else to talk to who comes into our life, and we got to express maybe the in-laws from that side, and we can have a bit more of a relationship. We chat and we realise we got something in common. And then once I have the kids, guess what? I've got a purpose. We can do the same thing with our grandkids as we did with our kids, even though me and you ain't got we talk, but we haven't got a relationship. Do you know what I mean? And then the ones who have got the courage to go, you know what? We haven't got a relationship. We need to move on. Then they're restarting their life.
Yeah.
But they could have done that. They could have just worked on each other, what they had. Yeah. The emptiness syndrome. So, yeah. But luckily, our three are gone. And trust me, even for us two who have been fighting for each other, it's been massive.
It has.
It has felt, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah.
One moment this person used to be asking for me, and this person, that person, I was doing this, doing that. And now we've got time. And it's like, what?
Yeah. But I'm glad it's not like, we've got time, oh God, we've got to think about us too. We have always fought for each other.
We have.
Yeah, and we have spent time, we've all, and we have shown the kids as well. I know there's been there has been things that have happened, but we have shown that that we are close, and the things you were saying, like you never see someone holding hands, or in fact they used to tell us stuff like, ugh, stop it, not in front of us, and stuff like that, like holding hands or just giving a cuddle or a kiss here or there. So setting that off already. But yeah,
you want to go on the next one before we do a whole hour on this one?
Okay, so the next one was, they genuinely enjoyed spending time with each other. They were excited to come home and catch up after a long day. Friendship was the basis of their relationship.
Yep, that's one thing I would agree on. We have been more friends than we have been and I think that's what worked for us. Always wanted to be just as a friend more than anything, as in, I mean, at the end of the day, marriage, just like friendships just happen, don't they, usually, and that who you feel comfortable with and who you could be yourself with. You trust them, you rely on them. It's like you always say, you can't pick your parents and you can't pick your kids. You know what I mean? Those are relationships you can't, and certainly with the other relationships that you have, those are already chosen for you. You're born in this world, these are my parents, and this is my society, this is my life. And when you have your kids, those, you can't pick and choose and go, I have that one or that one. But your friends are people in your life that, they come and that there's something genuinely you like about them, and you like. But your partner, even with, I believe, many arranged marriages, you get to choose. I know they find you, who do they think is best, but you end up saying if yes, no. I know back in the days probably you didn't have a choice, but I'm sure this day and age. But your partner is somebody you choose. And again, it's your partner in crime, partner, whatever. But you got to be friends with them. You got to, and it's not like, oh God, we have to have things in common. It's better not to have things in common.
Yeah.
And you grow off that.
Yeah.
It's like, you bring the best of whatever you like and who you are, and I do the same. And you enjoy, it's like two worlds.
Yeah, each other's company.
But you got each other's back. You trust each other.
Yeah.
And you can have fun. And that's something that I do believe that,
we genuinely enjoy spending time with each other. That we do.
Yeah. I mean, many times it's like they were excited to come home and catch up after a long day. I had no choice, because every time I text her from work, what's the point? What are you texting me for? All the other couples used to be sitting there, all the other officers used to be sitting there, and they used to be texting their partner, and their partner texted them back, and they're just sitting there going, and they're like going, oh, what we having for tea, and this, that, and the other. Oh, did you pick up this, and did you do all that? And I used to go, huh? I'm the only one who didn't sit there with a phone. Had my phone, but wasn't there to text. If I ever just going, they're all occupied in having conversation with their partners, or I'll just send her a text, and she's like going, number one, she won't reply, okay, unless she sends me a message, and then I don't reply, and then she'll phone me. Then, if I send her a text and she does reply, it would normally be, why can't you just talk to me when you get home?
Yeah, because you'll tell me everything.
I've got things to do.
I want to know when you see. We come home, have a cup of tea. Now, when our son comes home, I hope he carries that on. He comes home, I'll make the tea. We'll sit down together. Why do you want to tell me everything whilst you're at work? What are you going to tell me when you get home?
But I
wrong.
come home straight away, and I'm like going. I start talking to her, and she's like, "Go and get changed."
Get changed, and I say this to the son: go and get changed. There was another one of your daughters who like to do the same as well. Not get changed, just come down. I want to rub it on forever. Go and get changed. Sit down. Let's talk. So it's not as if I didn't want to speak to you. And most of the time when you used to text years ago, when you were at work, I was busy with all the kids, and I'd be tired and just want to sleep.
But one thing is, as friends, you talk about everything and
so
anything.
That's definitely
because that's what you do with your mates. You would talk about anything and everything, don't they? There's no secrets. So why don't you have that with your partners?
I feel like we are more than just best friends. You can have friends and they can be best friends. You can tell them everything. That's fine. But to the extent that me and you are,
people wouldn't be having conversations like we have. I don't know if everyone else can relate.
That's what I meant.
Fair plays if you got a relationship where both you two can talk about anything and everything. Even the most awkwardest things around, and just going, instead of going, this person's weird, or you can say, oh my God, this person's weird, but okay. You know what I mean?
Stop talking on my behalf. We can actually talk about everything.
Yeah. I'm saying that. I'm saying you can look at it and you're going, this is the most weirdest of things, but okay.
You can't talk to anyone else about this.
No. Yeah. And other people go, what?
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah. So, we are like that.
We are best friends. Like so that's something we tick as well. Okay, the next one is they had been through really difficult periods where they were at crossroads and even had second thoughts, but they chose to stay together and work through it. This established trust.
Yep, I agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. I know loads of people will turn around and go, oh my God, you know what? Why are you talking like this for? Why you have to tell people what you went through or what you experienced and felt? I'm sure that, I don't believe in the ones that, the people turn around. I mean, there's got to be some, but I don't believe in the ones that go, we've never had an argument. We've always agreed. We've always seen eye to eye.
I hate seeing on social media where there are all these loved up couples. All they do is either the man's always coming behind the woman, giving her a hug and a kiss, or bringing flowers all the time, or something or another. There's all this romance going on. I'm like, is that all you do all day long? I don't think so.
Maybe they do.
No, it's so bullshit.
Yeah, well, not having. I don't think there's any. I mean, I don't think you've grown up with any relationship, even your best friends, that you haven't had some disagreement with, and that you had to somehow make up. Yeah. So if you've had those issues with your parents, your friends, and everyone else, I mean, come on. If you're a person who is just every time, I've never had issues with anyone, and then you've been basically a people pleaser. You've not had a voice. You've not said nothing. So if you've just gone with everything that anyone said, it's more or less like going, okay. Yeah. So what did you experience when you was younger? No. Because I know there are things that I don't like. I know there are things that I want to, but it's just, you have to establish trust. But there were periods, that you were at crossroads going, we've come from two different backgrounds, two different upbringings, two different sort of societies, kind of thing.
I think I spoke about it on the last podcast where I did say even that there was such difficult times that we did think at one point, that we're done. Yeah.
And then you basically, and even at that point where I think we were at crossroads and we had kids, it wasn't thinking. It was like going, do you think it's best for the kids if we're not seeing eye to eye, we're not clearly understanding each other, we can't communicate in the way that we should, we don't know, again, it was just not understanding what a marriage was and how it should be. And yet it's, you hoping for the honeymoon period all the time through, and it's not. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, you don't know how to express sometimes because
Again, what you've been through.
Yeah, because you never saw your parents express that love or that communication or understanding. It was either yelling or it's like, you know what I mean, and storming off, and you're going, I don't know what goes on here.
Yeah.
You know.
So that one we ticked as well, but we chose to stay together and work at it. But we always did. Again, we always still fought for each other.
Yeah. And it wasn't, even though, like I said, we had kids. It wasn't, oh God, we need to stay together for our children.
No, because there was times where it was difficult. I was like, I can't see my life without him.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of how difficult things were, I know I can't.
And I said the same thing. I said one thing is, you know what? It wasn't ever like, we need to make go of this because we've got kids. It wasn't that. It was just like going. It was, for me, it was each time I was thinking, that's my best friend. Even if I wasn't with her, as in I wasn't married to her. Like, you know, she told me that she wants to leave me, I lose my best friend. Someone I trust in. I know she'll support me, encourage me, I have my back no matter what. How would my life be like if I can't communicate with her daily? I'll feel empty, kind of thing, you know, regardless. Okay, it would be like this. I don't want to be with you anymore. That's cool. Can we still be friends? You know what I mean? Because I still need to contact you and tell you what shit's going on in my life.
We would have been the best of friends, like,
you know what I mean?
ex-couple, if it ever happened.
It would,
and
honestly,
if we ever tried to move on, you know, can you imagine? It would be like, no, this is just not right.
It would be, you know, like when you sometimes see those movies, and I think fair enough, you know, when you have a relationship when you can see a couple who've actually parted ways and they got kids together, so they're still in each other's lives, but you end up going, she confides in him even though she's now either remarried or in a different relationship, and vice versa, and they still turn up to each other thing, and they can talk, you know, like give each other a peck on the cheek. Normally happens in, you know, no, it's happening in Indian films as well. You know, I think Shah Rukh Khan and Aishwarya done it in that Ye Dil Hai Mushkil or something like that, didn't they? With Ranbir Kapoor. That, you know, you have this relationship where you still turn up and you're going, this is my best friend. But he's also my ex-husband.
I've got this image.
Do you know what I mean?
I've got this image in my head. Like, just imagine. I know this is so silly, but I can think of just that happening. But say it being one of our kids' weddings and we turn up and we're like pissed and we're having a right giggle.
Yeah,
we'd be like that.
That would be.
And our kids were like, oh my God, they can't stay together. They can't be together. What the hell is with them? They're so.
And also, the fact is, even if I was with someone else and you was with someone else, I got this funny feeling that the conversation that Sweet and I can have with each other, that we probably won't be having with our partners, or they wouldn't see it in the same sense.
Yeah.
So it's that thing. You turn around, you're going, I know that, you know, even if we weren't in each other's life, I got a funny feeling that sooner or later, if we needed to call someone, depend and rely on someone, know someone that we can trust and communicate with, it would be.
And that's
other.
what it with us
you
is.
Know what I mean?
It was trust straight away when we got together. Like the friendship was quite strong straight away, and it started off with friends, and to the point where I could just like I said in the last podcast, I couldn't talk to anybody. I've never spoken to anyone before. No. You were the first person I actually spoke to. So
I think the problem that happened is, so from this, what we cleared up, I think the problem that happened is, as friends, we were great. We just didn't know what a married couple was supposed to be like.
Yeah,
we didn't understand we didn't understand marriage. And
it's that, and it's also the baggage that came along with each.
Individually. If we had just had an open mind right from the go, and just went, you know what, let's not put the marriage label on.
Yeah.
And let's not put the husband and wife label on. Let's just be friends.
Yeah.
You know, but have sex. With emotional intimacy and stuff like that. You know, but be friends. Mm-hmm. Instead of going, what do I need to turn up as a husband? Who do you need to turn up as a wife? That basically, that, you know what, we can just be really good friends.
Yeah. Okay, so we tick that one as well. Right, the next one was, there was a base level of respect and admiration for each other rather than a desire to change each other. This freedom brought out the best parts of each of them. Again,
I would say we had to learn that, because I think, again, what we look at is what other people are like in either marriages or...
But we do tick it.
We tick it. Yeah. There was a base level of respect and admiration for each other rather than desire to change each other. I think when we first got married, again, looking at the relationships and marriages around, you do have a tendency to want to change each other, because you're thinking that this person should be fitting what this character should be, of what your perception of that character is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what a husband does. So he should be fitting it. You know, husband's supposed to be singing around a tree, dancing around, buying me whatever I need to, but yet handyman all over the place, still good.
Is that
fun.
what you got from
No,
me?
I don't.
Because that was nothing like it.
No,
I
but
mean,
you know, when you look at it, you just go in, like, I'm guaranteed there's many guys out there who turn around and go, oh, when I got married, I thought I was going to have someone who's going to be cooking for me and making sure she's irons my clothes, the house is clean, but also goes to work. Certainly in this day and age, she was filling all these roles instead of going, you know, what am I bringing to the table?
yeah.
But at the same time, might be going, well, my job is to go to work and bring some money, and then, you know, I'm here, you know, kind of thing. I don't know. Everyone had a perception of what a husband's role is and what a wife's role is. And then you go in, you're not filling that role of what society and people are saying that role should be like.
Yeah.
Instead of going, what do we want this role to be like?
Yeah.
How do we want the
And
role?
I think there's times, again, I feel like I was a lot more forward than you with wanting to change and stuff and seeing stuff in a different way. And just because of where I've been and what I've seen, I just didn't want that. I wanted to create my own world and change. But it was so hard to get you on board with that. And saying that, because when you had this idea of roles and I was the mum at home, at times you'd switch over because you'd see other people going to work and you'd be like, well, women work. And I'm like, well, do you want to pay for your kids to be in day school?
Yeah.
That's entirely up to you if that's what you want. Or, you know, you'd come home and I'd have everything cooked. I'd have everything. The kids would be in bed. Everything's done. Yeah, that side I used to do. But then I'd be like, well, I'd want to spend some time with you. I know we spent time together, but I'd want to go out with you. I'd want to do things with you. And it'd be like, well, you didn't. Obviously, you had work and you were tired and stuff. But that side...
But only that, we didn't have anyone we had no one to look after the kids.
Yeah.
And then so it was in that running battle of going, our circumstances aren't the same. And so it was like, I understand where you're coming from, but I can't
I think
do
ours
that.
is so different. Even though it's amazing that we tick all these boxes considering everything we've been through. Do you know what I mean? We don't have the relationships. We had such issues from the past and stuff that we dealt with, but we don't have family members to help us. So
I was going to say, it wasn't more with us two. It hasn't been more to do with change the other person. It's been more to do with help the other person individually grow.
Yeah.
Because you saw each other's potential.
So much more now, though.
So much more now. But you saw the potential in each other.
We did
and you also, because of where we came from, we lacked belief in ourselves. And we also were stuck to a blueprint of who we thought we should be. Yet at the same time, we're fighting this battle of who we believed that we wanted to be.
It's because we both had been through those kind of things, lacking belief.
And then
the
you
support
feel
that was never there. We gave it each other from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's something that was from the
beginning.
beginning.
You also feared criticism and judgment.
Yeah.
I don't want to be this person that I've been for such a long time, a role that I've been playing. I want to be this person, but then people ain't going to like me for being this person. Because this isn't what every other person I know, a friend, a cousin, uncle, aunt, parent, is this person.
Yeah.
And the same with yours. Like, you know, I know who she can be. I know who I like her as, which is yourself. But this is not what everyone else is being, portraying. And, you know, maybe we're not filling those roles like these people are. We were like probably the two most down-to-earth parents or couple around. Even when we were together, we were married and we had friends, everyone coming. Like, we were acting like we were dating.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
We were working, we were married, we had kids, and we were going out and doing things. And our friends would come and we were like... And when our friends and our cousins and relatives all got married, their relationships all changed. They weren't coming out. They weren't doing anything. They were acting in different ways. And I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Whereas we were still going, people come over, you know what, we're just chilling and relax. We were still us.
Yeah.
But like two people who were married. You know, who were... It was different, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And even with our kids, we were like letting them play around. Like if we were their older brother and sister, more than like, you know, they were our children.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember?
Okay, so the next one is they communicated regularly and were open to each other's perspectives. They didn't cope by avoiding or denying. Emotional regulations were present, so conversations rarely became explosions.
Okay, this is going to be like No, our conversation did become explosions again. I think it's just way we've been brought up to communicate. I mean, I talk loudly anyway, so many times
Which I'm going to say I absolutely hate. I even told him off last night.
Punjabi, loud.
Don't be proud of it, because I think
No,
it's
I'm
awful.
not saying that. I'm not being proud of it. I'm just saying it's just you talk loudly anyway. I've always talked
any
loudly.
Conversation he has could come across like an argument. So you can imagine when I first got with him, there was no arguments, and when he finally started to like get angry or something, to me it was like, what the hell is
so
this?
I'm actually just talking. Even now she'll say,
lower your voice. I think your whole family is
people
like
are gonna
that.
think that you're angry and annoyed. I'm not going, but I'm not angry.
Yeah, but I think the difference with me again, the difference with me,
just
I like
comes out like that.
It's not me changing you. I like to change things because I think for the best of the future. Even like when I say things to you now, you might not.
So you are changing me.
That part I am definitely. I will do, because for a child to hear you speak, it comes across differently. So I'm always saying
she did. I mean, even just yesterday, like our son, he didn't do nothing wrong or anything like that. Someone messaged him and I just told him to block. And basically, I was just talking to him normally, and she was there going, quietly. I went, he hasn't done nothing wrong. I'm not even shouting at him. I'm just like telling him the right thing. But I understand where she's coming from, because she's going, he doesn't understand that you just talk loud.
And he has
but
said
he might look at it and going, oh my God, is Dad telling me off?
He said to
and
me
then
a
I'll
few
just
times.
have to go, yeah, I get it. I understand. And it's not like before, it would have been going, I'm not doing nothing wrong. So you get defensive.
Yeah.
But now it's more or less like going, I see, you know what? I'm talking loud. He isn't in trouble. And I can talk to him and communicate.
And when
to him,
when you're first, like when we used to be first like that, and the relationship we were in, and the things how it just used to be hectic and crazy. It wasn't sit down and communicate like I do with you now. Like, look, talk to him in a way. Still have to do it after all these years. Still have to.
And again, it's not because I'm yelling or arguing.
No, it's not yelling. It's just
basically nowadays in our home. Touch wood. I was going to say the arguments isn't happening. It's more or less like, even now it'll be something and she'll say it and I'm done like, you're talking loud. I'm like, I'm like, oh yeah, I am.
And again, it's not like I didn't come from a family where there weren't arguments or it was loud or not. It was, but it's something I didn't like and I didn't want, and I'm determined to get right still, even now with you when you communicate with the kids.
But that's what I mean. What happened with us is, because I was talking, she'll say something, obviously you react and you defending yourself.
I used to turn around and say, how now we speak and we'll communicate about it. Whereas before I'd be like, your whole family, they all speak like that. What's wrong with you all?
Yeah.
And that used to annoy you even more.
And then, and that's what I'm trying to say, it become explosive in the sense that she'll say something or something will occur. I'm talking like I do, but she's there looking at him going, you're being offensive towards, like, you know what I mean? And look at the way you're talking and you're expressing. Then you get defensive, and then it would be an explosion kind of thing. So we actually weren't there, but it was more or less like understanding. Why is he talking the way that he is? Is he actually an aggressive person, or is he just haven't got the ability to communicate properly with me? And it was that understanding that, you know what, I haven't said nothing wrong. He isn't actually angry, but it's just that the way he communicates, it comes across quite aggressive, but he's not aggressive.
Again,
and then you're going,
it comes from where you come from and how people speak, and that's what you've been brought up around, and that's how you speak. But again, I was brought around it, but I knew I didn't want it. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good.
No, exactly. And even now, it says they didn't cope by avoiding or denying. We didn't avoid. And we didn't deny.
No.
It would be, even whatever happened the next day, it would be, look, I am sorry, whatever happened. We actually found it difficult. I don't know how other people are, but there was times when we would both be quite defensive, and obviously you'll have the explosion kind of thing. And then you go in, you know what, I just want space. And you more or less push each other to have that space. And then you're feeling like, oh, damn, if I had my best friend now to talk to, do you know what I mean? I was like going,
worm his way back
and you're more or less like trying to like going, okay, do I talk and things will be resolved, or do I give her space and wait till she comes to me to resolve this?
Well, I ain't coming to you.
But I'm not happy in this situation. I'm not comfortable of us two not talking. It was like, you're living with your best friend, but you can't talk to each other, and it just feels really awkward. It's like going,
and I'm like, when are you going to learn? Stop it.
So he was like that. So yeah.
So we tick that one as well. We're doing good here.
But we had to learn on that one. We had to work on that one. So we're not saying, oh God, that was just like,
still working.
There was like, we're still working on it. We're still a lot less than we used to.
Yeah.
But we're still like more or less going, okay, I get it. I know where they come from.
Okay, so the next one is they got on each other's nerves. They fought and were frustrated with each other at times. But they knew how to navigate conflict, bounce back and move forward. That's what you just said.
Yeah, exactly. Boom!
So tick that one as well.
So they knew how to navigate conflict. Now, we didn't navigate. We went through the storm. Came out the other end alive
so
and well.
And I think you've got this thing about always wanting to win a battle.
I think
you did.
No, I did.
And it was.
I think it was
like,
again.
Go and take a break, mate. That's what I felt like saying. Go on, turn off, switch off.
Yeah, I did because again, it's like a ego, and again, upbringing. Like you see your father figure or the men look like they know what they're doing, and they look like they have the voice kind of thing. So you look at it the same way, and you're going, oh God, this ain't working with me, man. Like you used to work with them. What's going on? And but it's your role models. I'm not just blaming that. It's society as well. That is because you look at what is. If you had a man around who was very loving and caring towards a woman, his wife or whatever, you look at them and you're going, that is really nice. You know what I mean? How they communicate, how they act, how they behave with each other. You pick that up. You learn those things. Or you look at it and you're going, I don't like that. And I want to, as in like, when they, if you got the role, parents or society, people around you who are yelling and shouting, you either look at that and you're going, I don't like that. I'm not going to behave like that. But when you got everyone more or less like that, and all the men are men kind of thing, you're looking like going, if I be sensitive and be caring and be understanding, then that's not really being a man. Because you don't see those men.
Because that's the person you were. You were sensitive, caring, loving and everything.
Exactly.
And you had this side to you. I'm like, what is this? And I've been
This isn't him.
I've been brought up around people who are loud and aggressive, parents, brothers.
You always see me, like, you go, he's like this with his gran, he's like this with his mum, he's always thinking about them, he's always pleasing them, even with his sisters, like you said on the last podcast.
The same thing, they spoke quite loud as well.
I know loud, but I'm talking about how you saw me as a man, that I didn't turn around and act all manly with them.
No.
I was the sensitive person. I was more or less the pleaser all the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't the, oh God, women should be doing this and this is their roles. So when you saw me be like that with you, it was more or less like going, this isn't him.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's like, mentally you're going, only afterwards you're going, why am I like this? Why do I need to behave like this? I can actually talk. If I could go into a pub during a riot and talk to about 20, 30 people with as an officer and calm them down and no one gets hurt, I'm sure I could talk to my woman. Oh, actually, my wife. She's like, I'm not your woman. You're my husband. You're my man. Now, but you know what I mean? I think it was learning about how to, it wasn't navigate, you don't avoid, you learn to start communicating, but it took time.
Isn't that what they say? Like a partner, you find a partner that you grow and learn from these little things that you weren't taught or anything at home.
But again, you said to me, what if somebody speaks to your daughters like this? And not only that, do you really want to see your daughters see a man, a father who talks, who they look at and they're going, he's sort of disrespecting my mum?
Yeah.
Or he could have been nicer.
Yeah.
And they look up to you, and that's what you used to say to me. They might not understand that even though you might not be being aggressive or you might not be saying things or, whatever it is, that they want to be inspired that this man is setting a role model of the men that one day I want to marry, kind of thing, or have as a friend. Not like, someone like behaves in that way.
And again, these things take time as well. You don't see it, do you? It takes
because it's like you have this blueprint and you have things around you and you've got to undo them because you start having to look from the outside of, I'm doing this, but why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why do I need to? I understand what I want to express. And again, like you said, the ego of winning. Again, I'm defending myself, but I need to win. I'm the man. I can't lose.
I think that's another thing as well, whether it's because you used to you know, have to do that when you were little? Each time to get attention.
And not only that, you didn't
get
have a voice.
That's
No
what it is.
one, you wasn't heard when you was younger.
I see that a lot.
You had, you know, so when you didn't get the attention of the people that you know, should love you and you loved, all of a sudden you're going, you need to hear me.
Yeah.
I need to talk louder. I need to be more vocal. I need to be heard.
Yeah.
And you not listen to me just like those people.
Yeah.
But I couldn't talk to them like that.
Yeah, I know that.
Do you know what I mean? Because they wouldn't have listened anyway.
Yeah.
But you, I'm trying to talk to, and you're supposed to be listening.
And you can do and say as you please with your partner. You expect you can, you know what I mean?
So it's like that, and it's not the right thing. I'm not saying to anyone that you should be like that, but sometimes it's like looking at that, addressing that, and going, why?
Again, that's baggage, isn't it? What you've been through.
Yeah.
That your partner has.
You're trying to protect yourself.
Your partner has to see, try and understand, and then we grow through it together.
And you're trying to also tell your partner or want your partner to fulfill the roles that you wish you had when you was younger, to make you feel the way that you wish that you felt when you was younger. Yeah. But then you have to have that understanding of going, why am I being this? Why am I doing this? And how can I improve?
I think that's where we started to really see each other more, when I understood what you, like I always understood, I saw it. I saw it all the time, that you weren't seen, you weren't heard, your advice was never taken, although it was asked for. And I saw that, and that really upset me. But it took such a long time to understand the behaviour patterns and why, and to, you know, that it made us closer, though, didn't it? Like, to be there for one another and, you know, grow through it.
Yeah.
Made us a lot closer because we understood each other, because I'd been through something similar as well.
But I think more importantly, it was about understanding yourself. That's what people don't have time to do.
Yeah.
And they don't have a partner who encourages you to understand yourself. Because we're more or less, every single time, most relationships, it's like, let's think about the kids, let's think about the parents,
That's what it was,
let's think about the friends.
And if you go back,
let's think about, you know, like, let's think about all these other things, but not let's think about us. And then let's not think, even thinking about yourself, you feel like you're being selfish.
Yeah.
And you like, and then you at the same time they're going, there's nothing wrong with me though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, there is.
Yeah.
But it's when you actually go within and you see that there are things that are wrong with you that need improving, not because your partner is saying or whatever, because you weren't saying that. It's like, there's something not right here. And I don't need to keep being this person. I need to change this. I need to change me. But why is this happening?
Yeah.
So the last one.
No, I don't. Is it? Is that?
Yes, last one. Last one. We're on the last one.
That's the last one. Wow. So we.
If you're still with us.
We tick all those boxes, and the thing is, we wanted to share that because everyone.
No, did you read that one?
Oh, I thought you said that was the last
no,
one.
No, I thought that was the. I thought
sorry.
there was one more. I don't know. We'll just double check.
Have a quick look.
Shall I have a quick read? It says they appreciated and acknowledged the quirks in each other, even if they were at times annoying. They made light of them and were never hypercritical. Yeah. So there's loads of quirks. Reed's got loads of quirks. Loads and loads. And I'm not hypercritical about it, and I appreciate them. Luckily, I didn't have any. I don't know what she's laughing for. Go on now, you're going to make some stuff up.
No, I thought
I'm perfect?
Yeah. So we tick all those boxes. Even that one, like quirks, they can be annoying at times.
And yours?
Yeah. But
you don't want to go in them? No.
What? Like what?
No.
What? No, come on, because then I can bring yours up.
Okay, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but
no. Is it what you're going to say?
I don't know. It might be this, but it might be something else. Obviously, clearly, there's loads.
Is it to do with my?
What?
That I tell you too much. I share too much.
There's so many things. I'm not just.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. They are quirks, and that's the thing. It's about accepting. I think we said it in the last podcast. It's not just your marriage; it's about every relationship. It's accepting. It's, when you. I think was it. I saw recently, was it Sahil Bloom who said that a marriage is someone that you can sit there and be bored with most of the time, and still be okay.
We're
in
never
that kind
bored,
of
though.
relationship.
Oh,
no,
God.
but
no,
that,
I get it.
Because marriages can be, you can't entertain each other all the time. No. But also at the same time, it's accepting people that they're not trying to find someone who's perfect or not trying to make someone perfect. It's about loving someone when they turn up, even on their bad days, you know what I mean? You still love them.
Exactly.
Even when, they look a mess or feel a mess, they're at their lowest, you know what I mean? It's still going, I love this person. Everyone else, like you says, on Instagram and all these things, even when you're going, your own relatives and stuff like that, you come there with a filter.
Yeah.
You're performing. You being what everyone wants you to be. But with your partner is probably one of the person that you are being yourself.
Yeah.
Your
True.
good side and your bad side is unopen. They see you when you're going through your tough times. They see you when you're at your lowest. They see you when, you don't want to talk to anyone. You don't even want to,
They are the ones who probably
dress up or wake up or whatever.
They are the ones that you can say and take your anger out. And you do.
With anything that goes on, you could be angry and upset with other people or other things, and they
do it with
see
anyone
that.
else, and
and you still want them to love you and accept you and know that deep down who you truly are. That, you know what, just because I'm going through this bad moment or bad day or stuff like that, it's not you, and I understand and I respect you, and I am grateful that you are in my life, that you understand and respect that, me, in the sense that whatever I'm going through, whatever I'm expressing, how I'm feeling or how I'm looking, it's not, it's not to upset you. It's basically about, and I appreciate that you're going, this isn't him. I know what this person is. These are things that you just go through and navigate through kind of thing.
Even
Do you know what I mean?
Even that I think was quite difficult as well, wasn't it, to understand as well, because when you're having those conflicts and stuff, you are the closest person. That's the closest person you take your anger out on. And
there's right when our marriage started, though, I'll tell you guys, there was like a couple of things that never get your manicure done by 3, even not that I asked for it. She cut my, she basically cut all my fingers.
Oh God,
right?
I know what the next one's gonna be.
And then she burnt my trousers, and I knew how to iron from a really young age, you know what I mean? And
so what's the third one?
My mum taught me well, and so basically she decided when I went for a shower that I'm going to iron his trousers, right? And I come out and it's my nice trousers, my good trousers. Didn't ask for it. I was going to do it myself. Come out and she went, we're newlywed, and iron your trousers for you. I went, oh okay, you didn't have to. She goes, and I burnt it, and she actually put a hole in it, and I was like,
they probably needed thrown away anyway.
That was the last time. That was the first time. I don't know if she did it on purpose, just to never asked me again. Not that I asked her, but I never have asked her ever to iron my clothes. In all these 25 years of marriage, I've ironed my own clothes. I actually iron the kids' clothes. I actually iron her clothes. When you ask, can you do this as well?
He doesn't iron the kids' clothes. Just if I'm passing here, can you iron this while you're
Majority of the time, can you iron these clothes? Yes, it is.
If you're ironing, only because you're ironing, not because I get you make you get the iron out.
So things like that. So if you see those kind of quirks, you're like, what's this on your face? And she'll start looking at is there any blackheads and things? Can I get this one out here? That one out there? And you're going, leave me alone.
You like me pampering you. He actually likes to be pampered.
These kind of things. It's just so I could go into loads more, but I'm not going to. Marriage is a big subject. I know we haven't spoke. We covered some of the things that Street had found, obviously, but such a big subject. I'm sure that we're going to come across it and be able to speak a lot more of things that we have. In 25 years, you can't do it in an hour or two podcast. Things that we learn, we will share if you guys want to hear more about those kind of things. Other stuff as well, how we've had to adapt and grow, how things work, because we covered some. I don't know how other people's relationships are, what they do. We do hold hands when we go out. We actually hold, even now we go for walks and I have to put my arm and she has to hold it. We do, sit, make sure together. If we've got friends that we're not like, men are here, women are here. We are expressive in our relationship. We don't care, because it's us that we've got to grow older together, and we want that,
He's rude and dirty.
Yeah, most of the time. I can't help that. And you're not. Yeah, exactly. So, two people very much alike in that sense. But yet still, we've got, so many things that we're not got everything in common kind of thing. There are loads of differences as well. So, and that keeps us going.
Mhm.
And the whole
And my
focus.
humour, and I'm so funny and cute, and
Yeah.
I just make him laugh all the time.
And I was going to say, guys, it's even after 25 years, it is a continuous growth. It's a continuous growth in self. So you grow yourself and you're still trying to understand, why am I doing what I'm doing? How can I be better? And at the same time, it's a continuous growth in your marriage and relationship, because in 50 years time, another 25 years time, you want to look at it and you're going, wow, even from that 25-year period of where we are now, even more what we learned and how we improved and made things better.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you want to, and if we're still doing the podcast there, then, you know, you guys can come on and go, how much more? What did they do? And we'll be able to share. Hopefully got a sex life then as well. Yeah, you know what I mean?
As long as you put the heating on, his house is freaking freezing. You don't want to do anything.
Yeah, that's true. Got ways of keeping warm.
It's so cold.
Anyway,
that was the end of our podcast.
Hopefully you guys let us know what else you guys want to talk about, you know, either marriage or either parenting or relationships or other things, just improvement in yourself, mental health, various things. Just like we have so many things that we've improved in life and we're still improving. So even if those kind of things you want to take away from things that we saw and felt and never understood, and then finally we've sort of deciphered and learn to make better, those kind of things. Just, yeah, if you guys write down and share your things as well, it'll just make it interesting if you like can relate, or if things you got working or not working. We can communicate and hopefully other people can just read and relate to that at least. Yeah. Anyway, that was the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.